guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for the introduction to my second project pan of the year. So if you've been following my project pan this year, you'll know that I'm doing seasonal ones, and the main reason for that is I just find that if I do year-long project pans, I often get sick of the colors. I want to change it up each season. I get uninspired. Sometimes the foundations don't match my color at that time, or I prefer something more matte in the warmer weather, something a little bit more dewy in the cooler weather, and a year-long project pan doesn't really allow you to change that. So I'm doing smaller capsule ones because I'm in Australia. I've just done my summer one and now I'm into my autumn one. So I'm going to tell you what products I am targeting to hit pan on or use up over the next 3 months. Okay, the only real rules that I've got here besides using up products is in each project pan I want to introduce a new base product and also a fragrance. I am getting a bit of a fragrance graveyard happening where I've got probably 20 fragrances half used and they're getting quite old. I've got a couple that I can tell are off and I'm just keeping them for like decoration. But before more of them go off, I want to use them up. So yeah, that's why I've got a fragrance in each of these project pans and also a base product because once again, I tend to have a bit of a drawer, like a graveyard of foundations. And if I like it enough to use it, I want to be able to use it up before they go off. So I'll introduce those first, shall I? So the fragrance that I'm introducing this time around that I want to use up is actually the Lady Gaga fragrance. This is the original one. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. It's a Lady Gaga fragrance and it's got just over half left. So this is, what is it, a 50 ml? Shit, it's 100 ml. So this is a 100 ml bottle. So that is probably, I don't know, 60 mils of product that I want to try to use up. Luckily, this is not a very strong fragrance. It's like a soft, these aren't the notes. The notes I think say honey and this and whatever. But in my opinion, this smells like vanilla jelly beans. So the white jelly beans, very easy to reapply, use a lot of. Oh, it's called Fame, Lady Gaga Fame. So it's not too overpowering. You can use quite a lot. But yeah, it's a sort of soft fragrance. And because the weather's getting a little bit cooler, this is the kind of nice sort of soft fragrance that I like to wear. I don't want anything too zesty or too fruity. I prefer that in sort of the warmer months. So I'm going to try to use like 60 mils of Fame. I don't know how I'm going to go. I think the last fragrance I used up was, I think it was a 50 ml bottle, but it was halfway done. So yeah, I'm being ambitious. Another ambitious thing that I'm doing is trying to use up virtually a full foundation. So I was looking in my foundation drawer and I've noticed that this is the oldest one that I've got in there that probably is best suited for this time of the year because the shade is soft beige and it's quite a good match for me right now. I look very, very fair. It's very dark, so I've had to like ramp up the settings on the I was gonna say camera to make it brighter. So I look very, very washed out and like fair right now, but in reality I'm just a beige color. So this works for me really well, but in winter this would be a little bit too dark. So I thought I'm going to try to use this up before the winter project pan because this won't suit me in winter. But this, I think I'd used it once or twice. So I was kind of testing out the waters before this project pan. Just after I finished my L'Oreal one, I'd used this quite a few times, maybe over the last week and a half, to see if I get along well with it because I didn't want to commit to something that I really don't like. And I had actually used quite a bit. So it was probably up to there and I've used it down to there. So it's my little nail polish mark. So I've got a lot to go, So this is going to be, I think it's going to be on the border of being able to finish it up, but we will see. So this is ambitious. This is what I'm trying to use up in this project pan. I'm also bringing back the same concealer that I had in my last project pan that I am up to that grey mark there. So I do have quite a lot to go, but I think, yeah, I used up probably in 2 months that middle part there. So I think in 3 months I'll easily be able to use that one up. From my last project pan, I'm going to roll over this guy here. So this is the Mattifying Primer. I am probably down to around halfway used up. This one, it's a nice mattifying primer. I sort of want to use it up before winter really hits, because that's when I really don't need a mattified product. So I'm going to try to use this up in this project pan and see how we go. But it is a hard task to do because it is a very, it's best to use a small amount. So yeah, we'll see. I was looking through my setting sprays, and one old one that hasn't had much love at all, and I think is probably getting to the point that if I don't use it up soon, it will be expired, is this Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray. So I thought I'd give this a go. I looked at this just before and I realized I've barely used any of it whatsoever. So it is there. So it's a big bottle. It is 100 mils. So wish me luck on that one. I'm getting some really full things at the moment. It's starting to scare me. The next face products that I've been testing out a little bit over the last week to see if I like the look of the combination of them. I've got a bronzer. This is the Thin Lizzy 6-in-1 powder in light. Now, this is a bit of a gimmick in Australia and New Zealand. This was on all the infomercials. You can use it as a foundation, you can use it as an eyeshadow, you can use it as a lip product, you can use it, no, it's a bloody bronzer. But this is a really nice bronzer, surprisingly, and I like to say that it's a very affordable dupe for NARS Laguna. So it's got the same sort of consistency, it's got the same sort of color, that it is a little bit cooler, but it's also, you can use it sort of to sculpt, sort of to bronze if you wanted to. And it's got a slight bit of sheen to it as well. Nothing really shimmery, nothing really sparkly, but it does have a slight sheen to it. So I am wearing it just on my face today, and I haven't hit pan anywhere close to it. I don't even have a dent in it. So I'm going to try to use this up, or at least hit pan on it over the next 3 months, because I've got a lot of bronzers that I found in a drawer that I'm like, these are all great bronzers. I don't want to declutter any of them. I think they all have a great purpose, but I am the kind of person that likes to use one bronzer at a time. When it comes to blushes and highlighters, I like to change it up and try different things. But when it comes to bronzer, if I found one that I like, I just like to use it until it's done. So I'm slowly trying to work through the bronzers, because my ideal situation would be to have like my perfect bronzer, find my favorite one and just have one of those with maybe a backup and be done with it, because I don't like to think when it comes to bronzer. I want something that works and I'm happy to use it every day. So this is a good one and I'm happy to use it over the next few months, but I do want it out of my collection. So I'm going to use this up. A blush that I found, it's an old favorite of mine and it needs to have some love. This is by Illamasqua and it is the old school Naked Rose. Now this is a beautiful matte blush. This suits me more in sort of like the cooler months, so we're getting into the cooler months right now. So I thought this would be a really nice introduction. It is a beautiful soft sort of rosy pink. It's not too cool toned, it's not too, I don't know, like I find really girly pink blushes often don't look very good on me, but this one is so soft and beautiful. It almost goes to a neutral pink, or even like a nude when it's blended out. So I've got it on my skin today. You can see that because I do have some yellow undertones to my skin, it kind of looks a little bit peachier, which I quite like. So I like the effect of this. I love this blush. It's a beautiful formula. These matte blushes from Illamasqua are some of my favorite blush formulas ever, but I have neglected them for the longest time. So it's time to get some good use out of this and hope to hit pan. Then for a highlighter, I wanted to take this one a little bit slower because I pushed myself on that ColourPop one, but I found an eyeshadow pigment that I really like, and I don't wear it as an eyeshadow because I don't like really light eyeshadows. I like sort of bronzy, mid-toned eyeshadows. So this one for me was way too light. And this is by Concrete Minerals and it's the Mineral Eyeshadow in Rocked. Now, this has barely been touched. I have used it quite a few times in the last week or couple of weeks as a highlighter. I wanted to test out a few highlighters to see what I wanted to use in this. So it looks very peachy, and I did mention this in a favorites last month because I started like playing with different highlighters to see what I would introduce, and this was probably my favorite one that I like to use. So this is just a very, very fine pigment. It looks very peachy, but then if you swatch it, which I will show you, it has actually like this pinky sort of purpley shift to it. So you can see that that does not look peach at all. It might have a bit of a peach base, but it's got a beautiful sort of very, very soft pink shift to it. So I'm wearing that on my cheeks today. I think it looks very flattering. It's the right amount of highlighter for me. I don't like anything that's too bold. So I'm going to try to use this up because I've had it in my collection for ages. And I just don't want it sitting in a drawer. I'd prefer it gone. Now the amount that I've got left in this, it's hard to tell. I probably should weigh it, but I really can't be bothered. It looks like I'm about halfway through this. So this is 1.5 gram little tub. So I do think that if I use this every day, I could use it up in the next few months. So that is the plan. I'm also bringing back my MAC paint pot in Utterly Becoming. I hit pan on this in my last project pan. I just want to keep going on it because ideally I'd like to use this up over the next few months and move on to something that's a little bit more fresh. This is getting quite old, so I'm just gonna, you know, track the progress on that. Last time I had a brow pomade and it was very, very hard to use up. One of my next oldest brow products is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Brow Powder Duo in dark brown. Now I'm wearing this today. I'm wearing the combination of two shades. So these have two colors in them. And if you can look at the dent in the light brown one is probably more suited to my brow color. I might go in with the dark brown just towards like the edge. But I want to mainly use up the light brown side. So yeah, that's my goal, to use up the light side, and you can see that it's got a big dent in it, so I will probably hit pan on it, I don't know, hopefully in the next month or so. But if I can get that side done, I'm going to get rid of this because I love the light brown. I really love brow powders. I think they've given much more softer, subtle brow than like a pomade or a pencil. So I've been enjoying like testing this out again to see if I want it to put in my project pan. I've really been loving the effects. I love the brows today. So I'm happy to use this, but I'm not going to stick around and use the dark side because it's too dark for my brows, but the light side's gorgeous. Lastly, I'm going to introduce some lip products. Now, I never do this because I struggle with lip products. I always fail with them. I never complete them. They're always hard to do. I love changing up my lip products. So yeah, I'm taking a risk. I might not complete these, but I'm going to try. The first thing is actually a lip pencil. I don't have many lip pencils. I don't really use lip pencils on a daily basis. The only ones I might use is if I've got a really difficult, I don't know, lipstick that needs to have more of a precise line. Maybe the drier ones, they kind of tug a little bit. I might use a lip liner with those. Or sometimes if I want to make my lips look a little bit more plump, I might use a nude, but it's very rare. So I've got a few lip liners, not too many in my collection. One I thought that I could use probably with most colors, because even if I'm using like a red or any other color, I can use this to sort of line my lips a little bit because it's quite a nude. It's a pinky nude and it's by Uemura. I don't know the shade of this because it's rubbed off, so that's not fun. But this is the color here. It's just a pinky nude. I just thought it might be good. I did actually put this on my lips today under the lip product that I'm wearing. So it's quite a lot to go. It was a small pencil. It's barely been used. So we'll see how we go with that. Lastly is a lip product that I really do love. I'm wearing it over the lip liner today, and I do use this quite a lot, and this color is really, really great for sort of the cooler months. It's also really good to balance out a warm eye look because it's more of a cool toned nude. This is by Elizabeth Arden. I don't know what these are called. This is totally rubbed off, but the shade is in Daring Beige. I'll have the information in the description box, but essentially what this is, it's like a little sponge applicator. You click this up and it takes product out, put on your lips, And you can see it's sort of like a hybrid between a lip gloss and a liquid lipstick. It does stay quite hydrating. It's not too bold, so it's sort of like a lip gloss but not sticky. I really love the color. I think it's a really beautiful nude for the cooler months. And this does have the packaging, the airless packaging that I think pumps up. So there's a little window here. I haven't seen the packaging go up yet, so I have no idea where this is up to. But this is a product that I can wear when I'm wearing a nude lip. So I sort of alternate between nude lips and colored lips. So I'm not going to use this every day. I know that for a fact. But when I do use a nude lip, I'm happy to use this. So there's not really a great way for me to see how I'm going with this, but I'm hoping that I'll get to the window soon and at least have an idea of how much I have left. But this is a beautiful product, and it is getting a little bit old, so I'm going to try and use it up. Alright, so those are the 12 products that I either want to use up or hit pan on in the next 3 months. I'm not sure if you can tell the color theme with these ones. It's a little bit more muted. The blush is like a soft pinky sort of rosy color rather than peach, rather than shimmery sort of pinky gold. So I'm going for more the muted sort of look, and I'm going to sort of try to pair those with probably more bold eyes like this. It's quite autumn for me, or even pair those kind of colors with a berry lip. I think those sort of colors work well with bold eyes or smoky eyes, and sort of darker lips as well. So if I'm not wearing a nude, I'm going to probably wear a bit of a statement lip. And these colors work quite well with it. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in the next few months. Wish me luck. And if you do want to see past videos, I do have a playlist, which I'll link down below. I'll also list the products down below as well. So if you missed anything, I don't know the Uemura liner color. Sorry, it's not going to be down below, but yeah, all the details will be there. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.